to Game Change Performance. We're going to be doing our what we call our AMRAP today. We're going to be trying out a new thing. So what we're going to be talking about sometimes are nutrition, sometimes fitness. What I'm going to be doing is just kind of leading Trevor through some questions. He's going to be answering a lot of things that we deal with kind of on a daily basis with new people or even our current clients that have been with us for a while. So today our topic is going to be calorie deficit. I'm going to be asking Trevor questions, getting him to just kind of rattle off on his knowledge a little bit, maybe telling him to slow down from time to time. As you know, we like to talk fast. So what we're going to start off with today is calorie deficit. I just want to know with the listeners, like, what is calorie deficit and what does that mean?
Yeah. So some of the things we're going to go over, like this is how me and Nate do it in our gym. It's not everything we always choose is kind of we meet people in the middle, whereas a lot of things are so far on one end and so far on the other end. So me and Nate's idea has always been, there's a company called Precision Nutrition, which is a nutrition company we use. They're always like fitting in the middle because it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's never one way or the other way. So some of the things that we have, you might hear other places that are different than ours. This is just what we believe as a philosophy. So calorie deficit is the idea of, that is a simple idea. The simple idea is the amount of calories that you burn minus the amount of calories that you eat ends up with your calorie deficit. So that negative number, it could also be a calorie surplus if you go a positive number, right? So calorie deficit is on the negative side of that, trying to create the biggest negative, because our goal out of that is to create as much weight loss, or we call it fat loss, because that's really what our goal is, to cause as much fat loss as possible.
Okay, so if you're eating negative, does it matter then what foods you eat, as long as you're negative?
In science terms, no. Like if you just said truly calorie deficit, it really doesn't matter, but it does matter in terms of how our body adapts to the food and how our body digests the food. I think that's a huge topic and idea there, but the concept is the more quality of food that you'll eat, the big thing here is the more quality food you eat, the more full you'll feel, the less, so it's the idea is like, let's say we have 1,500 calories to eat. If I eat 1,500 calories in like 2 donuts, a Twinkie, and a shake, that's not going to be as filling as if I eat 1,500 calories in broccoli, apple, maybe some meat and eggs or something of that nature. So that's going to be a little bit more filling. So they should, in the long run, if you just strictly go on numbers, they should come out the same thing. But our body does digest food differently, and the more nutrients that are absorbed, the better the body functions. So I would say it actually does make a difference. It's just not as big a difference as people think it is.
Okay, so you're saying I could lose weight, but I won't be healthy.
Correct. I'm sorry about that, guys. Our phone rings all day long, and it's always people that never want to talk to us. So, so we do apologize for that.
Now, back on topic. You mentioned 1,500 calories. How do I know where a good range should be? Like, how do I figure that out?
Yeah, so there are many ways to figure out. I have a simple solution, but I also have a complex solution. So the first simple solution is, for most females looking to lose weight, we're going to recommend somewhere between a 1,200 to 1,400 calorie deficit. Okay, we want to try to stick close to that 1,200, and it really depends on body size. So if you're somebody that's over 200 pounds, you want to be closer to that 1,400 category. If you're somebody that's closer to 130 pounds, you're going to want to be closer to the 1,200 calorie deficit. So it's kind of in between those ranges. For males, it's going to be, the lower side is going to be 1,600. So if you're a male that's probably like 170 to 190 pounds, you're going to want to close that 1,600 calorie range. If you're somebody closer to 220, you want to be closer to that 1,800 calorie range. That would be just like an instant, like, what can I give you? 1,200 to 1,400 for females, 1,600 to 1,800 for males that you could put like MyFitnessPal or something of that nature. There are better calculations trying to figure out your body weight times 100, plus and minus calorie things. Those are things that we can help you with if you guys ever want to learn about that. It's probably a little too complex for this kind of thing, but we do have exact calculations on how to get you to the exact calorie range. But if you're just trying to look for a rough estimate, those would probably be the best 2 numbers, is those right there.
So let's say women 12 to 14, men 16 to 18. Okay, so let's say I'm a man, I'm closer to like that 1,600 range, and I'm like, I want to lose a lot of weight, so I just want to go really negative deficit. And like you talked about earlier, like the less food I eat, the more negative I'll be. In theory, then in my head, I'll lose more weight quicker. Yes. So.
Still based on strictly numbers, yes. But unfortunately, that's not how the body works in homeostasis, and how it really functions. So everybody's always heard about the survival mode, and is that real or not? The more and more people learn about set points and stuff, it really is real. That the farther our body gets away in a negative part. So let's say our body, to function for a day, requires 2,000 calories, right? So 2,000 calories, we're recommending 1,600 calories. So it's a 400 calorie deficit. But if you go to like 1,000 calorie deficit on that, some of the things that I've read, like 1,000 calories a day is about the maximum you could get to, and depends on how far that calorie range is. So if you're a bigger human being, 1,000, so a bigger human being is somebody like 180 plus, 1,000 calories you could probably get away with. If you're somebody 130, 140 pounds, you're going to want to be a lot lower deficit because you don't have as many calories in general to play with. So the bigger the deficit really does make a difference. Your body goes into survival mode. And survival mode just really means that after so long, it starts to realize, like, I need so many calories to function because it has those everyday things it needs. It really doesn't care about fat, the body doesn't. It loves fat. It wants to hold on to it and retain it. So the idea is what it's trying to do is its goal is to hold.
Apologize for that slight interruption in GCP's version of a Fireside Chat, so we're going to get right back into asking some questions to Trevor. Where we just left off, we were just talking about some ways that affect metabolism. So we know that sleep can affect our daily metabolism. Talk about some other ways that we can affect our metabolism.
Yeah, so we're looking at like our things like calorie burn. So calorie burn would be like working out. That would be a big way to make sure that we can create a calorie deficit. GCP, you get about 400 calories per workout. Other things that can affect it would be like NEAT. So NEAT is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So this is the idea of like, how far do you park your car away? Do I take stairs up and down? Do I do just movement throughout the day? How much of that do we do? Other things that can affect that, all those processes are like, there's another thing called TF, which is thermogenic energy feeding. And so the idea with that is like spicier food, more digestion of food. So fruits and vegetables can actually take more time to digest, and those can add a little bit extra calorie burn as well. Okay.
Well, I get a lot of clients that talk to me, and even myself from time to time, I think I'll eat really well. They say, oh, no, eating's not a problem. But then I have them food journal for a few days, or even I will write down what I ate over the weekend and realize, oh my God, I ate so crappy. Talk about the importance of just tracking your food and knowing what you actually eat.
Yeah, tracking is probably one of our like baseline habits, at least in the beginning, to really get an understanding and going back to it in the future from time to time. Like just literally writing down food can instantly put you in a right mindset of awareness of what's going in your body. So I'm going to be writing, like let's just say we take a notepad and I'm just writing down every food that I eat throughout the day, everything you put in your mouth. What that gives you awareness as you get through the day and be like, wow, I really ate a lot of bad things, or hey, I ate some really good things. Gives you good awareness throughout that, and then the next day you can adjust for it and you write that down. So we recommend like 3 days is a good minimum, but 7 days is a really good window of time because it gives you like through a weekend too, and you kind of get to see what those are. Other options is I love MyFitnessPal. It's super simple to use now. They used to be a lot more complex and time consuming. Now it takes me maybe 5 minutes a whole day to log everything. I just log quickly after a meal. But you can use a little scanner barcode on there too that you can put a lot of foods in really fast, which makes things go quickly. I use a scale as well, and I weigh my food so I can get the exacts, but exacts aren't what we're looking for in food logging to begin with. What we're looking for is just awareness. So putting those in give you a good idea of calorie deficits. They have, like we just talked about the different calorie deficits, you could actually figure out what that number is and get close to that every day and kind of build your day around that.
All right. Well, if I'm tracking my food and I notice that I want to keep going lower, like I mentioned earlier, is it ever possible where I can actually I'm too low on my calorie deficit, or actually gain weight? Is that more of a myth, or is that actually a real thing?
Probably put that in the myth category. There could be things like inflammation building up because your body's not recovering well because you have too low of food. That could cause like a little slight influctuation from time to time, but really if you're like gaining weight and you're eating really low deficit, it just means that you're probably not having a low deficit. You're probably not doing a great job of tracking. You might be thinking, I'm only eating a serving of this, and you look down at the thing, the serving is actually 4 servings for that thing that you're eating, right? So especially fats and stuff can be really calorie dense. So like an avocado, even though it's a great food for you, it can have a lot of calories inside of it. And if you're not thinking, why do you say to avocado? An avocado for a whole avocado can be 400 calories if you're not taking that into account. For a female, that's a third of your day if you have calories as you eat one avocado. So you got to be, like, I think a lot of times people aren't really aware. That's where food logging is really important, because you probably didn't get surplus from eating too little food. Your body would probably just stalemate is what it would do.
I would say that I feel like most people eat pretty well Monday through Friday, and then maybe they go off the whole entire bandwagon on the weekends. Can that really affect a full week?
Yeah, I mean, so if we do it just based on the numbers, right? So we're taking the numbers. 3,500 calories is a pound of fat to lose. That's our goal. We want to lose 1 pound. We want to get to 3,500 calories. That's our sweet spot. So let's say throughout the week, you go the first 5 days. It's called 5 days. We'll just take the 2 days for the weekend. So we'll go first 5 days. You created every single day. You create a 500 calorie deficit. You are killing it, right? So 5 times 5 is 2,500 calories burned. We're 1,000 calories away from a pound of fat. So if we hit those 2 500 calorie days on the weekend, we're going to lose a pound of fat that week. But all of a sudden, Saturday and Sunday, we kind of eat out of control, and we have a surplus of 400 calories on one day, 700 calories on the other day. Well, we didn't lose a pound of fat. Now, in that equation, we didn't go backwards. We just didn't go forward either. We kind of stayed pretty even. Well, let's say you took, on those days, you had 1,000 calories. Let's say you're supposed to take in 1,200 calories, and you end up eating 3,000 calories. Well, all that ground that you're trying to build, you just lost. So, yeah, weekends can completely obliterate a whole week's worth of work. It's so depressing, too, because, like, one bad day can really screw up an entire thing. That's why we talk about cheat meals, not cheat days, because a day can affect an entire week. A meal probably is not going to set you back that far. It might set you back, though, a few hundred calories, but probably won't set you back a full week's worth of calories.
All right. So try to make sure the weekends are the same as weekdays because the body knows no difference.
It
right?
doesn't know. Only thing that knows the difference is though it's up here, and that's the part that we have to get better at controlling.
All right. Well, this is our first GCP Fireside Chat. We hope you liked it. Please let us know what you think and how we can improve. We're going to hope to bring you more of these throughout this time here with the coronavirus pandemic going on, and we're just going to make sure that we give you guys like a little calm presence while you're stuck at home. This is Nathan and Trevor, signing off.
Have a great day, guys.